A stranger, a proscribed man, I wander among them. Never a word, a look, now reaches me. It is terrible to be condemned to silence when one has so many things to say. Am I created for solitude? Never to find anyone with whom I may make myself understood. Dostoevsky.
Dear reader, let us examine solitude. And will it be an aid in the development of self? Is it a needed component in advancing the awareness of mind? To transform the world, to create it afresh, man must turn into another path psychologically. But first, we have to go through a period of isolation. Dostoevsky's solitude is not new. There has always been men and women born to be lonely. Others have even chosen loneliness. Heroes and sadhus have taken loneliness for granted. Whatever beginning his solitude an outsider knows, he is not like most men, and the knowledge of his difference hurts. I stand between two worlds. I am at home in neither, and I suffer in consequence. To be an outsider, to recognize one's fundamental difference from the masses, is a burden that many have borne. This realization can indeed be a source of suffering. The knowledge that one does not fit within the conventional molds of society can feel isolating, creating a sense of seclusion even in the presence of others. The Greek philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This speaks to the inherent loneliness of those who pursue paths unfamiliar to others. Yeshua himself experienced this loneliness, retreating to the wilderness to fast and pray, and lamenting that the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. Matthew 8:20. Yet it is in this very solitude that the soul finds its transcendence. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of the yogi who practices meditation in seclusion, thereby mastering his mind and freeing himself from the dualities of life. Similarly, the Tao Te Ching counsels, the sage avoids all extremes, excesses, and complacency, urging a life of simplicity and inward reflection. If we view solitude through the lens of personal growth and spiritual enlightenment, it becomes not a state to be dreaded, but a condition to be embraced. The desert fathers of early Christianity, the monks of Eastern traditions, and the mystics across various cultures have shown us that solitude can be a profound teacher. But verily, how much does the isolated man know about himself? The young philosopher Kierkegaard had wondered, "What I really lack is to be clear in my mind what I am to know. The thing is to understand myself, to see what God really wishes me to do. The thing is to find a truth which is true for me. But what is truth for me? Possibly a truth that would be so private that it will be incommunicable." Take of what Nietzsche could say, "At the absurdly tender age of 7, I already knew that no human speech would ever reach me. There was no human speech worth listening to, coming from the herd, the crowd." Kierkegaard's quest to understand what he is to know and to discern what the Most High wishes for him is a journey of profound spiritual introspection. This journey requires one to navigate the labyrinth of one's inner world, seeking alignment with the divine purpose that resides within. This is reminiscent of the Taoist notion of returning to the root, or the Hermetic axiom, "Know thyself," which suggests that true wisdom begins with self-knowledge and inner harmony. The search for a truth which is true for me speaks to the existentialist notion that meaning and truth are not universally prescribed, but must be individually discovered and embraced. This truth may indeed be so private that it becomes incommunicable, a personal revelation that defies external validation, yet holds profound significance to the individual soul. It is akin to the inner visions that mystics and sages receive, which might elude articulation but profoundly transform the inner being. The man is great who knows how to be most solitary. It is the man who is surrounded by loneliness, not because he wishes to be alone, but because he what he is and cannot find his equal. Unique journey of those who tread paths less traveled. Such men and women find themselves ensconced in solitude, not as an act of withdrawal, but as a byproduct of their unique nature and quest for deeper understanding. The ancient poet-philosopher Jalal al-Din Rumi once echoed similar sentiments. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. In the depths of solitude, the isolated man or woman communes not just with the outer void, but with the inner cosmos, discovering truths that are deeply personal and, as Kierkegaard pondered, potentially incommunicable. These seekers of wisdom find solace in the silence that fosters true introspection and enlightenment. Consider also the Taoist sage, Laozi, who noted, "When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you." This profound solitude is not born of arrogance or misanthropy, but is the natural state of one who has transcended mundane desire and seeks to understand the divine rhythms of existence. Yet, this journey of solitude is neither easy nor painless. The prophet Elijah, in his desert solitude, heard the still small voice of God, speaking profound truths that were not heard in the clamor of the world. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a still small voice. 1 Kings 19:12. To be truly great, one must embrace this solitude not as a burden, but as a crucible of transformation. It is within this sacred silence that the most profound and sacred truths are revealed. The noble soul recognizes that true companionship is not merely the presence of others, but the presence of wisdom, insight, and the divine spark within. In sum, the greatness of a man in solitude lies not in his isolation, but in the vastness of his inner world, the clarity of his self-understanding, and his alignment with the divine. These are the ones who stand as beacons of wisdom, often misunderstood and alone, yet profoundly attuned to the deeper harmonies of existence. Go be great children,